Got him. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I have 3 books that I am planning to read for the next week. All 3 of them are a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I'm ready. I'm prepared. I've been mentally preparing for this since the TBR jar video, and it's these 3. I'm gonna be reading Lock Every Door by Riley Sager, which is a thriller. I'm gonna be reading Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. And the one I'm freaked out the most about, Tender is the Flesh. While these 2 are both considered thrillers, this one is considered horror and dystopian literary fiction, and it might have a little bit of thriller aspects to it, but I'm pretty sure it's not classified as a thriller. Either way, after reading what this book is about, I am like, Mom, please come pick me up. I'm freaking scared. To challenge myself, I'm not letting myself pick up a little palette cleanser book off Kindle Unlimited, which I do every single time after I read a book out of my comfort zone. I immediately resort to, oh, I just read a book out of my comfort zone. We must read Silly Little Romance on Kindle Unlimited. I'm not allowed to do that. There's actually no reason for me to put this regulation on myself, but I'm doing it anyways. I have too much anxiety for this, but it's okay. Tender is the Flesh is what we're starting with first. It's only like 200 pages. It was reported that an infectious virus has made all animal meat poisonous to humans. Then governments initiated the transition. Now eating human meat, quote unquote special meat, is legal. Marco, I'm assuming he's the main character, tries to stick to the numbers, consignments, and processing because he's in charge of like the human processing stuff. Then one day he's given a gift, a live specimen of the finest quality, meaning a human. Though he's aware that any form of personal contact is forbidden on pain of death, little by little he starts to treat her like a human being. Because she is a human being, Marco, did we think about that? And soon he becomes tortured by what has been lost and what might still be saved. So really, what I'm thinking, based off reading this, is he's in charge of like the special meat department, meaning human meat, and a woman comes into his life, and he probably like falls in love. This could be completely wrong, I'm speaking out of my, and he probably like forms a personal connection with her and starts to treat her like a human being, the human being that she is. And how much you want to bet he has to make a decision at the end of this book whether he's going to turn her into that special meat or he's not, in the business of slaughtering humans. When I did the TBR jar video, everyone who has read this book and made a comment on it was saying that they were unable to eat meat for like a few months after this. So this might be my vegan arc. Get it? Like villain arc? Don't laugh, because that wasn't funny. This video is actually Heather Goes Vegetarian. I have a few quotes tabbed that I want to share with you. Legalization occurred when the governments gave in to pressure from big money industries that had come to a halt. They adapted the processing plants and regulations. Not long after that, they began to breed people as animals to supply the massive demand for meat. Reading dystopian is all fun and games until the dystopian seems like it could happen in this fucked up world we live in. Person comes out and goes, as Jesus said, take and eat of my body. I can assure you he did not mean that. I was in 4-H vet science growing up. You know what like FFA is? I was in that too. I'm from freaking Texas, okay? I've been to plenty of animal farms. I know the ropes, and it grosses me the fuck out. I can't do it. Well, that's mostly because I can't do blood, but like the whole process, I know it. If you don't know the whole process, don't go look it up. Don't. Just don't. But if you decide to read this book, it will go through the process and it's gross. I have like 4 pages left. This hand is like shaking holding this book. What the Okay, Tender is the Flesh, done. I think I'm gonna actually give this book 4 stars. As fucked up as it was, I thought it was good. But good. I was planning on eating my leftover chicken tacos for lunch, but I think I'm just gonna eat a bowl of fruit. Who is that man? Where's the other one? What do we read next? Should I flip a coin? Because I actually have no solid opinion on which one I should start next. So I think we are going to flip a coin. We're just gonna pick this one. We're starting this one next. I'm nervy. You wanna see how cute my cat looks right now? You know what? I'm gonna take you off. I'm gonna take you on a merry-go-round. Everybody with vertigo crying. You're so beautiful. Ta-ta! Whoa, whoa, whoa. I just read the back of this. Then She Was Gone is about this woman named Laurel. Laurel like lost her daughter, or her daughter went missing 10 years prior. And at the present day, she meets a man in a cafe. And when she meets this man's children, one of the girls like looks so much like her daughter that it's like freaking her out. And the daughter, Poppy, is like the spitting image of Ellie, her missing daughter. The back says, no one ever just disappears. Wait, that's creepy. Could you imagine? Your daughter like goes missing, hypothetically. I don't have a kid. My dog, who is my daughter, who's dead asleep on the floor, goes missing. 10 years later, you meet a man. He introduces you to his kids. His kid looks just like your kid that you like went missing. What are your immediate thoughts? My immediate thoughts are, I'm stealing you. Just kidding. My first thought is, what the hell? That's it. Just what the hell. I'm in the same exact spot, reading the same exact book. I'm on chapter 22. I've gotten to the part, or a little past the part, where Laurel, the mom of the missing daughter, meets that man that they mentioned in the back of the book, and it is fishy. I have a lot of questions for what direction this book is gonna go in. Am I supposed to trust Floyd? The man that Laurel like meets in the cafe when I start dating? I don't know about him. It's very suspicious that his daughter, his youngest daughter, resembles Ellie, Laurel's missing daughter. But also I know that it can't be Ellie because they're not the same age. Poppy is young. This is all in the back of the book, not a spoiler. And I don't know how to feel. And I also, knowing that this is like a kind of thrillery suspense book, I don't know if I do this every time. I don't know if I'm reading too much into the situation and there's gonna be like a crazy plot twist and I'm like, whoa, what the f? I didn't see that coming. Or if this is actually just strange. This is like unfolding so slowly and this book isn't stressing me out that much, to be honest. Like I'm kind of just going with the flow of it. Whereas normally you would think getting into this book, your heart would be beating insanely fast. But I feel fine. I'm shocked, but I'm not anxious about it. I'm halfway through the book. I think I know where it's going. And I'm saying this because what if there's a giant plot twist at the end? At the current state we're at, the pieces are kind of adding up. Oh my God! I feel like most people won't put two and two together for that one. I didn't see that coming. And of course it jumps to like then POV and not continuation of what the hell just happened. This book jumps all over the place, like from past to present. It's in third person and then occasionally it's in first person, and it always jumps right when you get to the end of the chapter and you need to know what happens next. It's like, nope, we're gonna have a chapter about the past and then we'll jump back to the present and find out. That's what keeps you reading. It's what keeps you hooked, because you're like, I have to read this next chapter to find out what happens in present time in the chapter after that. Okay, wait, with what just happened, that just shocked me in that chapter. Now that has me thinking about all of the potentials of what happened to Ellie. Like, is it actually the person that I'm thinking of? I think it is still, but there's definitely more to the story now, or is there? It's hot and it's making me into an angry person. So what did we do to fix that? I went to the bookstore. I had no other reason to leave my house today. And I tried sitting outside to read and I was like, oh my God, it is warm. Heather, you haven't read Red, White, and Royal Blue yet? No, I haven't. I have seen, what is it, a movie? I'm pretty sure it's a movie. I've seen all the trailers. I'm obsessed with it. I want to read it first, so I went ahead and bought the book. Then someone posted a TikTok. I'm a victim to the TikToks, especially the carousel ones where they post a picture of the page of a book, of a scene. I'll read the whole thing and then I keep swiping and the carousel's done on TikTok and I'm like, no, give me the next page. Give me the next page. They don't. Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey. Someone posted a carousel. I was immediately hooked. I can't stop thinking about this book, and that was, what, a week and a half ago? So I went ahead and bought it. And then I just finished then she was gone, which I'll talk about in 2 seconds. I really liked Lisa Jewell's writing, so I went ahead and bought another book by her. I don't have the book with me, so I'm just gonna put a picture right here. I'm going to rate this book 4 stars, maybe 4.25, even though it really doesn't matter. It's around 4 stars. I loved it, personally. I thought it was a really good read. I liked how it was a suspense book, but it wasn't anything that made me incredibly anxious. I read The Housemaid. That was the first thriller book I've really ever read on my vlog, and I told you guys that I was having a heart attack throughout it because while I love the idea of thrillers and suspense books, they make me super anxious. The way Lisa Jewell's writing was, it didn't make me overly anxious, but I was still like, there was still suspense at the same time. There even could have been a little bit more suspense, and I would have been okay with that. On the front of this, someone said, Urban Paranoia has a delicious gothic new address. I love gothic themes, so I don't know if that means there are gothic themes in this book or they meant something different. There's this girl named Jules Larson, like Reese Larson. Jules Larson gets a job as an apartment sitter at the Bartholomew, which is like one of Manhattan's most famous and secretive, it's like a secretive building. So this says on the back. At first, for Jules, it feels kind of like a lucky break. She's excited to be there. She probably feels very safe because it's a very secretive place. And then apparently there's someone else in the apartment complex that's also like house sitting or apartment sitting, and that person goes missing. Jules begins to suspect there are dark forces at work behind the Bartholomew's glamorous facade. Digging deeper into the building's past, Jules soon realizes that the Bartholomew is more dangerous than she thought and that escape may be impossible. What the f does that mean? At the top it says her dream apartment, period. Her worst nightmare, period. I've never read a Riley Sager book before, so I don't know if these are gonna be happy endings or if they're gonna be kind of cliffhanger endings or endings that make you continue to think afterwards and kind of put your own puzzle piece together. I do like happy endings, duh, who doesn't like happy endings? But I also really like books that keep you thinking afterwards, where you're like, this could have happened or this could have happened, but we'll see. The apartment has, what are they called? Gargoyles? I swear I just read the word gargoyle. I did. But the main reason for the building's fame are for its gargoyles. The classic kind with bat wings and double horns. They're everywhere. From a pair that sit over the arched front door to the ones crouched on each corner of the slanted roof. That's the gothic vibe. If I'm being completely honest with you, I don't want to read this book. There's just nothing in the beginning of it so far that's like hooked me in. I want to read romance. I'm not built for 3 non-romance books in a row. I'm not built for this. But I'm trying, and I got a TBR I have to do. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal, but I'm serious. I'm not built for 3 non-romance books in a row. I could do like 1, 2 is pushing it. 3, I need some smut. I need some tension. I'm now on page 177. The girl, where is it? I gotta make sure it says it on the back. It does say it on the back. But when a fellow apartment sitter in the building goes missing, the person went missing. So it's starting to get a little juicy. Not juicy enough for my liking. And I would prefer if they would throw in a romance subplot. It's not gonna happen. Sue me, okay? Sometimes romance is just fun to read, okay? I wish the back of the book would have told us if this place was haunted or if one of the neighbors in the Bartholomew is a bad person. Because I don't know if I should be concerned about potential ghost or if I should be weary about her neighbors. In the meantime, I'm using a little too much brain power in every single interaction. You know, this is kind of giving like The Housemaid vibes by Frida McFadden. We were all like, girl, all the signs are telling you to leave. You need to leave this house. But she had to stay because like the pay was really good and she needed the money to get back on her feet. That's kind of the same situation here. All the signs are yelling, Jules, leave, run. In the vlog, I think it was a Reading Yale's 5-star reads or something where I read The Housemaid. I remember being like, what would I do? I might have included it in the video, I might have not, but I remember sitting there and being like, what would I do if all the signs were pointing towards you need to get out of this place or stay and make like a large sum of money to get your life back together? My thing is I would stay, but I probably wouldn't be nosy. I think both characters, this one and the girl in The Housemaid, they were both nosy. This girl especially, she is nosy. I would stay in my apartment, not talk to anybody besides a few neighbors, but not like be nosy with the neighbors, just be like, hi, how are you doing? Make a connection, a small one. And then I would barricade my door every single night. The door to my bedroom would be barricaded, and every light in that apartment would be on at all times. Also, there's that creepy little contraption thing in, what is it, in the kitchen area? I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but I'll put the name here and maybe even a picture of it, where you like use the ropes to move things up and down. This is sounding so dumb because I don't know the name of it off the top of my head, but when you're reading this, I'm hoping it'll make sense. Jules said that the size of that contraption thing could fit a grown man, like a grown average sized man, she said could fit in that thing. I would get wood, I would get nails, and I would barricade that thing too, especially because it moves between the floors. I feel like something bad is gonna happen with that thing in the future or later in the book, and someone's gonna be sitting in it or something. Cut the wires, break it. I might be in the exact same spot I was in yesterday, but it's a new day. This book is getting so, not even crazy yet, it's just getting interesting. So interesting to the point where like I need to take my bra off because it's starting to like become too much. Does that even make any sense? It's starting to pick up. I see a few plot twists coming in the next 10 pages. So this is not what I thought was gonna happen. I do really like the direction this book took. This book hasn't been slow, it's been steady, and there wasn't a part at the end. I mean, I still have like 5 pages left, but there wasn't a part to where like it all hit the fan. It was like a continual and steady unraveling of stuff happening, and then when you actually find out what the situation is, it's like, what? And then it steadily unravels from there. I kind of like that. I'm not having any heart palpitations with this one either. Oh my god. I am trying to decide whether I should give this book 3.5 stars or 4 stars. We're gonna say for the moment 3.75. Didn't absolutely love it, but I liked it. So if you watch my TBR jar video, there was a total of 9 books that was my chosen TBR for the month. The 3 books that I read in this vlog on there, read, checked off, because I have to check them off. There's 4 more books that I need to read for this month. Addicted After All, Fuel the Fire. I feel like I can knock those out next week. Once Upon a Broken Heart. I don't know if I'm going to read Once Upon a Broken Heart anymore because I started it and I feel like I need to read the Caraval series first. Like I don't necessarily need to read the Caraval series first, but they said I would enjoy it a lot more if I went ahead and did that. So I think I might not read that book. Thank you guys for watching today's reading vlog. I guess I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna name this video. It's kind of like reading books that are a little bit out of my comfort zone. I like thrillers and I like suspense and I read them, but I'm definitely a romance girly. We saw me panicking because I was reading my 3rd like non-romance book in a row, and that was difficult for me. I need tension and I miss it. And that's all for today's vlog. I will see you next week.